We still don't have a Dispel, though, right? No hard Dispel. I mean, a Dispel is great this game. Dispel in lane, especially, because you can throw it against the Rubik, completely ignore Fade Bolt, trade a lot more efficiently. Not to mention, you Dispel everything that Earth Spirit has to have. One Dispel on the hero, and of course, the Bat Rider, right? So I'm kind of curious as to why we don't see any of those yet. We still have some room left in the draft for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe those picks and those heroes get contested or banned out here in our last phase.
Yeah, I would hope that Among Us maybe picks up their offlaner now. I was expecting. Oh, I guess the last pick is for Neon, so they want to save. They want to make sure they have a mid that's a safe pick, because Void Spirit, usually, even if he loses the lane, which is rare, you can just recover in jungle. He's not too bad. He has a fast farming speed, and you want to make sure you don't get really hard countered here. But you're right that the offlaner should probably come out. You have LC and Abaddon. Abaddon not very popular as an offlaner nowadays. LC probably much more so.
Yeah.
You don't see the Omnight, even if that's an SEA special. So Among Us, while I like a Dispel pick, I don't know if you can risk picking your carry last, because then you're also going to get banned a bunch of things. In fact, now this is a pretty decent arc warding game now they picked a troll.
Oh man, so much Zet, all the doubles. There's the Faceless Void. I was wondering how many games we were going to have to wait before we've seen him.
Very popular, probably the best carry right now. I mean, yeah, he's probably one of the better carries, if not the primordial carry, because he fits in so many drafts here. Usually, Among Us will pick him up with a Snapfire, but since it's banned here, they have a Global Silence combination. It's not too bad.
We could use a little bit of damage into Chrono early, though, so I think that's going to need to be an answer for this last pick. I still like the LC, to be quite honest with you. I think it could possibly still work.
Interesting ban of the Venom. I don't think the Troll has that bad of a matchup. Phoenix, yes. Phoenix, definitely. Honestly, that was the perfect pick here for Among Us. Yeah, the Dispelling is nice, but Among Us could just choose to play this super offensively, and them being the ones that propose things.
I gotcha. They could just choose to not get lassoed.
No, I mean, like, no, they can just...
no,
if you control the tempo of the game, a Bat Rider and Earth Spirit become much weaker, because they are heroes that needed vision to initiate.
Yes, especially Earth Spirit in the first 15 minutes of the game, Bat Rider in the next 5 to 10 minutes of the game.
I mean, I still remember this argument back in the day when Slark was a hero, and when people used to actually have this massive debate. Is Blink Dagger better? Is Shadow Blade better, right? One of the main arguments used against Blink Dagger was that Blink Dagger is pretty bad if you're losing, because without vision, you blinking in the middle of nowhere, having to guess where everyone is kind of bad. Whereas Shadow Blade gives you that extra vision, though. They do ban the Dispel, though, with the Oracle, because they're like, well, maybe they do play the Void support, too. And they end up with a Queen of Pain, which gives you some variability in the offlane role or mid role, right? Void Spirit, Queen of Pain can kind of swap it. I don't love either of them.
In which, the offlane?
In either position. I think
really?
that you're... I think you have a really weak offlaner, and I'm looking more at Queen offlane.
Do you not like these two specifically in this game? Like, you don't like the Void offlane, and you don't like the Queen of Pain offlane?
Yeah, I don't like either
like
of them
in this draft.
Queen is fine as offlane, I can see, as a counter to Troll. I can sort of see it.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I think there were better options, to be honest. Maybe more damage in the Chrono, though, which is true.
That's what I mean. I still kind of like it. And now we almost have, like, an overload of targets. Who do we go for, right? Who do we lasso? Who do we lift? Like, we need to kind of get all three of, the Void Spirit, the Faceless Void, the two most slippery, two of the three slippery purple heroes, right? The third being the Darkseer. And, of course, the Queen of Pain as well, getting the blink away. So the Bat Rider and the Rubik, they have, maybe it's a very target-rich environment for them, which is not easy to play in.
The one thing I like about this, though, about the duality, is that Neon Esports could have always countered Void Spirit with the Shadow Fiend, perhaps one of his best lane counters, but Queen of Pain beats him. So this flex takes away that possibility for Neon. Because as it stands right now, Neon is not going to win team fights. 5-on-5, you're going to lose for sure. You have to get pickoffs and take towers.
Yeah.
But their draft is made for that. However, they need the lanes to go well for them. If the lanes go badly, they lose a lot of that potential.
You pick, what are you looking for? An offlaner here, most likely? Maybe like a Tide Hunter?
Oh, because you're thinking Bat Rider mid? Actually, yeah, I like the Bat Rider mid a lot. I don't know about Tide.
Because then you force the Quap mid, right? And then you're gonna at least have to give Troll a little bit more breathing room, because you definitely don't want Troll against the Quap, like you said, right? Because that's Quap favored.
I don't know if Quap is able to deal with Bat Rider better. I think I would just put Void Spirit in sack his lane and try to beat the Troll.
I mean, that's even better, right? And then you pick some team fight for your offlane, maybe even an Underlord here. A
Puck.
Okay, so keeping it flexible. That could very well be an offlaner still. It's a kind of an SEA thing as well. Who is it? KYXY? No.
I mean, Puck is played in offlane a lot of places. No, it's 5 Puck, though, so taking one from Puppy and a bunch of people, actually, that play this. Not bad, actually. I don't mind this too much. The pos 5 Puck is really strong. I mean, it's pos 5, pos 4, of course. You can play whatever lane you want. It's just that Yopaj does play the 5 in this team. You can put him in the offlane, for example, annoy the Void a ridiculous amount. If you're laning against the Queen of Pain, which it seems like you are, you also put a lot of pressure. The damage output from Puck is incredible early. I like the Neon Esports lineup. It kind of makes up for your lack of team fight, because Puck is great at counter-initiating. I still favor Among Us, though. I still favor Among Us was his last pick. I think it's easier for them.
Honestly, I think there's one imposter in that lineup. I think something's gonna fail there, and I think Neon, they're a type of team that plays like this sort of tempo. They really like unsettling teams, right? Which can be quite easy to do for a new stack like this, right? Among Us, obviously not a sponsored stack. You got a few players come from different teams, maybe not getting too many scrims in. You know, we just found out that it was March on Among Us. I keep flipping the two. We just found out it was March on this team recently, so we'll see how it goes for them.
Yep, and now we're getting ready for this first game to begin. So we're gonna be swapping now away from this beautiful draft overlay and away from our wonderful faces into the full game overlay. And let's see what happens then as the lanes start to get set up and we can.
Prepare for battle. Now with the river, you can appreciate what it is to the game. So you also fire can help you be wrong, you mistake, that's out of the way. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed, as we're now finally in a map there, just having to get over to the casting station, as we, of course, have our first pause.
What is this? A game of some sort?
But there we go. Care DC, I still have that DC bug, so the players doing themselves a small favor there, just reminding each other of the dangers that's currently is in Dota. There we go. Closing the door, as it's going to be a quick reconnect here. So looking at our lanes, it will be Schem top lane here on the Troll Warlord, so we're not going to get anything too fun out from this Neon lineup early on, at least, as we will have Jeffert top lane already on that Treant Protector. Pretty standard stuff.
I mean, they're running. No, never mind. Sorry. I was gonna say, the troll offlane, troll carry against the Queen of Pain is gonna be a bit tough, especially with Trim Protector. And I mean, you can actually add either or, Treant or Silencer, and both will deal a lot of damage to the troll. You have insane amount of damage dealing from these three. It's hard to recover from that.
I don't know if I like this tri-lane though. I don't know. Faceless. I mean, I feel like you're sacking one of the purple guys' lanes here. As it. Yopaj is mid.
Yeah. So, sorry, we completely wrong on my end there. I don't know why I went for the 5. It's because he's been playing the Void 5. That's why. But these guys do like swapping positions. But he's going to be playing the Puck mid against the Void Spirit, which is not a bad matchup. Granted, it's not too bad a matchup. Which I'm actually more interested in though, as they're the weird lanes. Is they're actually going to be running the Earth Spirit off lane, which I think it's only Neon that still runs this consistently. So that's going to be an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, JG. Looks like he's got the offlaner items ready to go. Even the bottle queued up. Classic old Earth Spirits. Back when the stun was on the queue on the Boulder Smash. Fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad lane, the Rubik Earth Spirit versus Void and Silencer, because they both deal mainly attack damage. Obviously, Silencer's amplified with the Glaze of Wisdom. Mm-hmm. So Fate Bolt's really good to make trades a bit more even between you two. Yeah. And these guys are both pretty decent laners.
Yeah, Earth Spirit is surprisingly tanky. His stacking is actually kind of incredible. So he's going to be able to, as he gets levels, get a little bit more comfortable trading here with the Faceless Void. Mid lane, though, is going to be Yopaj versus Abed. Fun stuff. I mean, it's been a while since we've had Abed back in SCA, of course, but it's really cool to see him back yet again.
Yeah, of course, playing with his brother and playing back in the region that taught him, how he plays.
Where he plundered all the MMR for us. Now he's back.
Which is even more incredible if you've ever played a pub in SCA, that he actually has that much MMR in SCA. I am convinced that you will find 4K players in SCA that are better than certain pros because of how difficult it is here. But it's nice to see them. Yeah, definitely a lot of skill in this mid lane. I think that Void Spirit's actually doing a really good job against Puck. This matchup, I honestly want to say it's a slightly Puck favored as the matchup progresses, but in the early game, the melee hero, of course, always favored in these matchups as it's easier to last it.
Yeah, that's true, but as we get the first Null Talisman to come out, right, that's going to give a lot more damage to Yopaj. Puck already actually with a great int game, gets a lot of good damage in. You can see Abed, though, he's prepared for this. He has a stack of his own tangos that he already bought, just so he can actually afford to stay in lane. And nice job there on the Remnants to secure the CS on the range creep.
Mm-hmm. And For now, it's actually been quite calm. I don't think either team is really looking to dominate these lanes or go for kills. They're mostly looking to push their opponents away, if anything, and get a slight advantage. It's definitely Neon who gets online earlier. Their early mid-game is stronger than the opponents, but once it gets to the true mid-game and 5-on-5 battles start, it becomes very difficult for Neon to try to fight them. You do have nice counter initiation on the Puck, somewhat on the Rubik, and somewhat on the Troll. But for the most part, beating a Void Chrono with Sonic Wave, Overgrowth, and even the Global Silence to boot, it's almost impossible.
No, definitely, right. It's gonna be the team fight. The last pick didn't really help him out too much with that. So sure, you've got the Dream Coil, which is fantastic catch against any 3 of those slippery heroes, right? So at least there is that problem sort of addressed.
With 0 cast points as well.
Of
That's
course.
really useful. That's particularly why Puck is so good at counter-initiating, right? That's that, and same reason why Earthshaker is so good at counter-initiating. They can't really avoid you. It's just up to you to get the nice Dream Coil.
Oh, wow, it barely lives there. Messed up the phase shift time, and maybe Abed predicting that one a little bit better. Nearly getting the kill.
It's a tough lane when you start getting the Ether Remnants. The thing is, Abed went for the Resonant Pulse build, which is a bit better overall in the mid-game. But if you really want to beat a Puck, you can actually go max Ether Remnants, and you can almost always catch them if your supports are willing to rotate. However, in Among Us, their supports are not great rotators. Kuku in the top lane could be in trouble, but he has the blink already. But Zephyr, though, they're trying to chase after now.
That's
However,
so difficult.
Zephyr does not care. No, Zephyr's chasing after them. Never mind, you're a Trim Protector.
18 wand charges, too. He was not scared. He was not scared at all there.
I mean, that's why I hate Trim Protector in the lane. He's incredibly strong. Nature's Grasp deals way too much damage. The current build that we're seeing very often these days is actually maxing living armor, so you become this incredible tank that just hits way too hard. In early game, it's impossible to beat you in lane.
Oh, wow. Nice job by March there. Securing the rune for Abed. He says, no, I'm not the imposter. I did my task. I rotated for the 4-minute rune. I secured you regen bottle. You won the lane.
And that is what they used to do, actually. Well, what he used to do on TNC very often. They were very consistent about these things, which a lot of the SCA teams, for example, Boom Esports doesn't do this as consistently, going for the 4-minute rune and securing that lane. But TNC and Fnatic were the 2 teams that you never saw them miss this, right? So some of the advantage of having this guy on your team. And that helps the lane quite a lot. Abed is now starting to win by a fair amount, honestly. The lane, he's constantly pushing the lane and then going to the jungle to extra creep farm, which is very useful. And in terms of experience, he's slightly above Lopage.
No, there we go. March actually will take a death down bottom as Playhard zapping him with the Fade Bolt, picking up the kill. It's going to be low mana now on the Earth Spirit. It does suffer quite a bit in the mana department. You can see he's actually only got enough for maybe 2 spells now, including the Rolling Boulder. But at the 5-minute mark, that's going to allow them to get 3 runes for their troubles here out for Neon. So a big win for them here at 5 minutes.
Yeah, the first blood going to your support, though, is not the biggest deal, I think. As long as your support takes that first blood, it's whatever. If the carry had taken it, it'd be more important. So as long as your lanes are going decently for Neon, they don't need to win this early game necessarily, because their early mid game is already stronger. So all they need to do is at least break even.
Yeah, eyes on mid. It's about to pop off. Abed about to hit level 6 here. There he goes. Yopaj getting into the skill point at the same time. Abed striking first, though, but a nice jump out from Yopaj. He might still go for it, though. The second Aether Remnant committed. Sorry, Astral Step. And the Dream Coil is not going to save the life there of Yopaj. I saw that one coming a mile away.
No, that's going to happen. The Puck dying in the middle lane. Abed's already taken a pretty big advantage. And Abed, being the Space Creator mainly in this game with the Void Spirit, will be able to take down... we'll be able to gank early and try to disrupt the plan that Neon is going for, especially because their Batrider is played as a 5 here. It's going to be much more difficult for Neon Esports to try to get that tempo off the Batrider. They're going to be relying much more on the Puck. And as long as the Void Spirit keeps an advantage over the Puck, then you pretty much got this. It's not really difficult to disrupt the ganking plan that Neon is trying to run.
I do want to note that it was a good response by Neon. They rotated both supports over for the 6-minute rune. Make sure that Abed does not get that bottle refill, because then the lane is so hard to win for Yopaj. So at least now he's behind, but it's still very, very recoverable. And they didn't actually scout the support rotation, so both side laners did get some good CS in. In your dream, they will be going for him here a bit. He's going to have that TP out, though, as the Magnetize getting dropped. Will scare him and boot him from the lane.
Yeah, March is still there, though. So
Yeah.
I guess he's just resigned and accepting his death, because there's no way he's getting away. There's no TPs either. Yep. March just accepts it. I don't think he had a TP. Oh, he did, but he didn't want to try to waste it because he wants to go back to lane. But what I like about Neon, though, is they're rotating the Troll early. So they understand that their strength now doesn't come so much from ganks, but from the pushing part the Troll can give. And therefore, they're just trying to make the troll play a bit more aggressively. He's farming aggressively first, going into the safest lane as well, as now the laning phase starts to break. And Zephyr's only here to try to play the dead lane role here.
Yep.
Twin Predator's great at this, but not against the Puck or Nurse, who both have mobility through the trees. Zephyr, can he try to get away? There's a Dream Coil.
They're gonna
going in.
Silence should be a kill here. Yeah, like you called it right. The Dream Protector's here, but Earth Spirit rolls through trees. Rock beats tree. Rock beats. Actually, paper does beat rock, doesn't it?
But that's a dumb. If I throw a rock at you and you put a paper in front of yourself, let's try this experiment. Try to stop my rock with your little piece of paper.
Among Us are not going to try and stop the push going out from Neon. Unfortunately, I mean, sometimes you see this, maybe if you're laning against a DK or something like that, you leave mid lane, your tower is gone. Sure, Abed can push very quickly. It's going to go for a kill. Rotations coming in now. Yopaj underneath the tier 1 tower will pop. March picking up another +2. Very smart cookie indeed. But if we look over at the tower, tower's still doing quite nicely. Yes, you can push the lanes pretty quickly with the Resonant Pulse build, but you don't really do all that much tower damage early on. So that's a big win for Neon. Even though they still lose the puck, they've got Skem a lot of space here. Skemberlu going for the Battle Fury here as well, so looking to be scaling. Definitely knows that he can't really afford to be fighting against the team fight here. It's just not that realistic. He's not really well suited to be part of this pickup lineup that Neon Esports seem to be trying to go for, so I like this decision out from him. We're gonna work on getting Alvaro back here in just a second.
Sorry, apologies.
There he is.
We got just making sure the audio works great for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
Just double check the audio to make sure it sounds great. Neon Esports, as I was mentioning, they have a slight advantage here in this game, which is expected in the early game. As I said, their laning is slightly stronger. They avoided the Queen of Pain threat. Skem is still pretty farmed, considering he's a bit behind the Void, yes, but he's recovering nicely now in the triangle, and he's going to go for the safest farm now. We still haven't seen that rotation from Among Us, because they know Void can't quite beat the Troll Warlord in lane. So they are just going up top and trying to play safe as possible.
They tried there with the haste rune, but the vision there by player to the ward means he's able to back off nice and early. And we got a few heroes just sitting mid, but the farm fest is just about to kick off here. As like you said, Faceless Void versus Scam. Basically, it's going to be who can farm a bit faster. Oh, Cuckoo could be in trouble, though. They're going to find the jump on him, and the silence to follow suit. The wand charges out from Cuckoo, might keep him alive. Oh, that's another Remnant connecting, though, to refresh the Magnetize. They need another one, though. It's level 1 is so weak, so he's going to be A-OK. Boulder Smash! Whoa.
No, Cuckoo still got it. No, holding Boulder not quite there. They still have the Geomantic Grip and the Urn, but no charges. Nice Geomantic Grip with the silence. Cuckoo has Blink ready. He's trying to bait them, and he does with a TP. However, Zephyr might die as a result here. He does have his own TP. Skem.
Oh, they didn't see him.
He doesn't quite see him. Zephyr, just hug the wall, and you'll be fine.
Nicely done there. Wasting a lot of utility, wasting a lot of time as well from Earth Spirit. Like we said earlier on in the draft, this is the time when he needs to be finding those kills, right? Now he's got 0 Urn charges. That's going to reduce his kill potential by quite a bit. It's a lot of damage. 25 damage per second is already half, increases your ulti damage by 50%.
It's a decent amount. We're going to see now as they try to go for the kills down bottom. Zephyr. They have level 6 on Bad Riders, so trying to take advantage of this. They've already taken a tower with a 10-minute catapult. Not a bad level of push already. As In Your Dream cannot really match his speed. I wonder if they're going to try to defend up top, or In Your Dream just gets a free tower. He's afraid. They don't show themselves on the map, which is smart. Yopaj and JG are both going for In Your Dream here.
Yeah, they're going to smoke up, check the triangle here. Lots of lines being drawn on the map. You can see they're not quite comfortable going over it. That's definitely electrical right now. Oh, but it's mid instead. They're good counter initiation, though, with the silence.
Yeah, the corner road, the counter. I think the puck is going to die, even with a phase shift. Wow. Yeah, never mind. The time locks make sure he can't even phase shift away. That's a dead puck. Bottom lane, they try to get a counter kill here onto the tree protector. Not bad, but honestly, support for a mid laner not worth it for you whatsoever.
No, that's a downer for sure here. If you're Neon Esports, definitely not the engagement you're looking for. I think that's now the 3rd death here as well on the Yopaj. Not that that's like make or break, but when you need a little bit of tempo, that definitely is very telling of how your mid game is going to be going here, right? And just a great counter initiation there. March on the money with the global silence. That allows Skem make that In Your Dream to close the gap real quickly. Get off that Chronosphere, and he's back into the jungle immediately farming up.
So what you're supposed to do as the Void, you're not going to be able to match the Troll's farming speed, so you have to just farm in between kills all the time, trying to use Chrono whenever it's off cooldown. That's the perfect usage of Chrono, though. Killing the enemy core, it's kind of ideal. Bottom lane, Zhao. I think this man is not going to survive this onslaught as 4 heroes, join in and make sure that the bottom lane becomes a bit more TNC favored.
We haven't seen a scream of Sonic Wave yet, have we?
No, I don't think so. Not that it's been necessary, right?
No, exactly, but I think they're going to smoke up again here on the side of Among Us, head towards middle lane, where they see a Rubik just pushing the lane, and they are going to try for the kill. Abed, though, not connecting there on the 8th Remnant. They will commit the ulti. Overgrowth stolen. Playhard will use that at least once, but there's going to be absolutely no follow-up from Neon.
Let's see. Neon losing the Rubik here is starting to lose a bit of the... Oh, they took mid tower. This would be more important, but I guess they can't push it just yet. Among Us, they're managing to get pickoffs, which is decent. I guess they shouldn't be the ones doing it, though. It really should be Neon, but Neon may be waiting more around the troll.
Oh, mid lane, though. Oh, great kick. That's the combo you're looking for, right onto Abed. Even committing the lasso there just to make sure that he's down for the count, but big pick off there. That's going to be actually the first death for Abed. He was getting close to that Yule Scepter, so a big moment, a big timing, rather, for Neon to pick him off.
Let's see as they go for the middle lane. Neon wants to open the map so the kills become easier for them. As Zephyr tries to defend this, they know where he is, but they missed. JG couldn't quite guess it. As he starts, Nature's grab slightly in the trees, make it harder for them to guess where the Trim Protector is. And they continue for this tower, seeing if they can take it. Unfortunately, not much pushing power as Troll comes here a bit later. Yeah. And we're gonna see Geekfam manage to defend this successfully.
It's a lot of rotations out as well, and not a whole lot of vision on the map in favor of Neon. They didn't scout anyone there. They knew no one was in the triangle. They're like, let's just back off. Make the good call there. Spell stolen. That one will be Dissimulate. Now he knows at least that he's maxed Dissimulate, but that's not going to be too surprising, all things considered. In Your Dream, though, farming quite nicely, going immediately for that MKB following the Mask of Madness, so he knows that he's got plenty of space. His team able to provide a lot of that for him to get the farm, to get the necessary items.
So, 1K lead for Neon, which they should start transforming now into some kills or at least some objectives. They've been trying for this middle tower for a while, but they've been doing a good job Among Us of defending it. Mainly Abed, who has not been needing to take the role of space creation. And now they're going to punish him with a global silence, see if they can go for Abed. Still silenced. They actually don't have any further follow-up. Is the global silence stopping him? JG trying to roll the boulder away. Can't. Abed stops his brother. And now it's JG who's in trouble with the overgrowth, setting up into 3. Sonic Wave as well. Perfect combination, stopping JG. And Brass play hard as well. In Your Dream, he does have the chrono, but doesn't want to use it just yet. And he doesn't have the angle to get 3 people or 2 in the chrono. At least Neon takes advantage of this by getting the troll to farm during this time. He already has his Battle Fury. And it's true Among Us have to rotate their carry. It still works out slightly.
I'm starting to see... Oh, hold on. They're actually going in yet again. Stolen Nature's Grabs, though, as the will catch Abed just barely. He was hoping to try and run away, but they don't have enough control, not enough follow-up, especially with JG dead on that Earth Spirit. There's not a follow-up stun there. And this is actually what I was about to say. This is kind of the flaw here in Neon's draft right now, is that they don't really have any way of killing anyone until this troll is super farmed without... if they're silenced, right? Like, their combo to kill Abed, to kill Queen of Pei, to kill In Your Dream is all spell-based at the very moment. One global silence and you have absolutely nothing. That's why they just tried to run away immediately after, to your credit.
It's why Among Us is just so strong in 5-on-5 engagements. Like here, I think Neon kind of realized, you know, there's no fathomable way, unless we are way too farmed, that we get them in an engagement like that and we beat it. The counter initiation is there on Overgrowth and Global Silence. You have a lot of mobility on their heroes. You're a team that's made to get pickups. You're not really a team that's made to be able to take 5-on-5 engagements, which really limits your playstyle right now this game. And there's not much they can do about it. It's just a draft thing that Among Us was very smart to do. You know, they knew they were going for a safer draft view, and it's working out for them, as they still have a fair amount of space in the map. And In Your Dream is not falling.
Yep. He is looking real good. Even top lane, getting closer and closer to that MKB. Just probably the best item in all of Dota 2 right now.
Yeah, it is. It's way too strong, I think. On the Void especially, that's part of the reason why the Void is doing so well right now. Not just because the Chrono combines nicely, and he's a very flexy pick in a lineup. Not in positions, but because your lineup can work with pretty much anyone that has AoE damage. But on top of that, that MKB makes it really easy. Before Voids, with Mask of Madness +1, you're dealing some damage, but you still rely on your team. Now, Mask of Madness MKB, trust me, I've had games where there's a Void in my team and he has Mask of Madness MKB 45 minutes in. He's still somewhat useful. He's very impressive.
Lots of magic damage, that's for sure, as JG, who's Abed with an Invis Rune, looking for his brother. They're instead going to go on to Cuckoo. Global Silence, though, is going to cut this one right off, as he's going to be forced back immediately. In the meantime, that leaves Yopaj all alone. He does get the Illusory Orb out, looking for the TP, but Sonic Wave will cut him down there in the trees to secure the kill.
That was fantastic. Well played up top from Among Us. They get a kill by baiting it. If you saw the smoke or the invisibility there by Void Spirit, usually the invisibility not so useful 18-19 minutes in a pro game. If you bait it like that with a Queen of Pain, it's perfect. And Neon fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Without the puck, your tempo control is not really there. And now you're starting to see how the Troll is going into more dangerous territory to try to create that farm. They're really separating the map pretty much in half as Among Us starts to take over their jungle.
Yeah, I foresee some major issues here actually for Neon Esports, as Among Us, this build actually on the Void Spirit is just so good this game. He's going to be going straight for the Aghanim Scepter right after the Yule Scepter, so kind of the Void Spirit we used to see back when he was first added into Captain's mode, or at least when his Ags was added, that is, and it's just so strong. Like I said, when they're silenced, Neon Esports have absolutely nothing to contend with Among Us. As in they go now, I bet he's going to find another one.
Well, that's poor Jonel dead, but it's kind of okay as long as it's a 5. It's just you didn't expect him, of course, to be there. That's your safer lane. He's tanking the gank for Skem, who is farming aggressively on purpose, trying to make space there. It's Yopaj who's instead pushing up that top lane. So let's see how that works out for them. It's starting to look bad for Neon Esports, though, because they haven't been able to play their game for a while, and as the game progresses, it becomes harder and harder for them. Among Us, in the top lane, in your Dream, there's a Dream Core onto him, they break the Dream Core, nice little combo. March has no Global Silence, and they silence him again, but in your Dream just fights, and he can fight pretty strong. In fact, JG is now stuck with a clumsy net. Here comes his brother to ensure the fratricide occurs. It's going to be a win again for Among Us. In your Dream, a bit too tanky, just with the Mask of Madness and MKB.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. Yep, there's Skem. He's going to bash him there to death. They might not even get the ulti off. He will just barely, but he will be able to turn onto one. Nice stolen Aether Remnant there to secure the kill onto the Queen of Pain, but it's still going to be In Your Dream. Man fighting versus the Troll Warlord, easily picking up the kill. They will make that a 2-for-1 special, however, and that's going to be In Your Dream with a double kill across 2 lanes. Nicely done.
Yeah, well done here as Among Us. 11-6 the score. Queen of Pain off lane dead, yes, but you don't just take the enemy carry and force out his ultimate.
Oh, look mid though?
No, there's no way. You're alone there, Yopaj. But you see how now Neon Esports are starting to play much more haphazardly. They're trying to push the lanes. They're always alone because that's what they have to do. You're running out of options. And Among Us controls the tempo of the game much more. Even that kill bottom lane, right? They just killed you guys top. They killed the Earth Spirit top. The TP was still available, and the Troll still does not back, because they have to make more plays happen. So your plays become riskier and riskier, your playstyle is closer and closer to Eternal Envy, and that's when the mistakes can happen, and when you can start losing people in very, very great fights like this one. Like losing the Troll there just equaled their net worth, even though Troll has Battlefield.
Yeah, for sure. They're in some serious issues. Zephyr actually going for a bit more aggressive build. I think he recognizes how useful he can really be in these early team fights with the Blink Dagger first item here for the Train Protector. That is very fun to see. It's second maybe to only Crystal Maiden Blink Dagger first item, just jumping in and letting it go immediately.
Yeah, there's not much else. You know, like you don't have any other role here. The smoke gank here by Among Us trying to catch someone with Global Silence but no Chrono. You still have Overgrowth, which is like a pseudo Chrono, honestly, this game. There's no dispels in the enemy team, which is something we did comment on before.
We can expect to see them dive pretty aggressively. They're going to go for the older brother. Yet again, Fade Bolt is not going to stop them. Abed looking for possibly more, as they do have a rotation out from one. Jean-Noel trying to get up to the cliff will be able to do so. They do have a ward up there, though. That's going to allow Cuckoo to continue chasing on. But Jean-Noel will stay alive quite long, but eventually perish there, giving March another +2. How much is he at? It's at 18. Smart cookie.
Okay, 1K lead here for Among Us.
Yeah, and Yopaj trying to do whatever he can here. He's actually going to decide to cut the mid wave, trying to keep that mid tier 1 alive a little bit longer. Blink Dagger available. He is going to get it off. Of course, that is, I think you can always get that off, technically. You can always get the blink off out of a phase shift. Obviously, in your dream, not too happy about that one, thinking that should have been a kill for sure.
You can. It depends on the ticks of the server. That's the thing. I mean, no, if you're in phase shift, you can blink away from it, but if you're literally just releasing it, which depends on how you phase shift, like when you phase shift exactly, it depends on the ticks on the server. You can definitely catch someone.
I think Neon, I don't know, actually. This Batrider has not really been doing anything at all this game, I want to say. I just feel like we didn't really see anything happen top lane where you'd expect a support Batrider to really have some sort of presence in the lane, or at least force some rotations. They didn't get that done. It's 0-3 and 2. March is only poorer than him, probably because he's literally buying everything in stock. But they're going to go mid yet again onto JG. He's in trouble.
JG's not going to die just yet, but the mid tower does fall, which is kind of important, because now you can completely take over the enemy jungle. And look at this, by the way. Neon actually has 2 defensive wards in the jungle to try to secure a bit more farming space for Troll, and also try to punish these kind of invasions. But now you have full freedom to deward this. In fact, you already have your own offensive level ward.
They know Rosh is getting done, though. Neon, they actually have JG's courier in the pit.
Scary.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So the courier's dead.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can initiate this. You go for Cuckoo. Cuckoo blinks away. You miss the drink ball. That's
Wow.
your initiation gone. Yeah, GG. You gotta let this go. In fact, JG might also die. Abed has the Ag. The double times is too strong. JG's gonna die. And this is a free Roshan with Neon unable to do anything. Still no blink on Bat either, which means that you're kind of stuck. You really depend on the puck entirely in your initiation. It's not working out.
Yeah, that did not go too nicely for them there, especially after the puck misses. Now they still have actually every single ulti up for Among Us, so they can still conceivably very confidently and easily take a fight immediately after this. Neon, though, they're going to try and force the issue right now. So they will buy back on JG. That will get Among Us out of the pit, but for how long is the question, as now Abed up to the cliff. He goes, he's going to find a Rubik, get that kill, easy peasy, making it another 4v5, and that'll be In Your Dream back into the Rosh pit. They are still looking maybe for a big Chrono. The Illusory Orb from behind is going to let them know there's a puck out there. Shepard with the blink forward, has the Overgrowth, but probably not going to use it. March as well with the Global Silence. They've wasted a lot of time here, Neon Esports are. Good stuff, but I don't think it's going to stop them from getting this Rosh.
No, the Rosh will fall. For In Your Dream is quite easy, and again, even with a full team, I actually wouldn't have fought that. It wasn't an easy fight to take either. You have okay pillage in the Rosh pit, but it's really mainly Dream Coil. And even with Magnetize, right, you can always get stopped by Global Silence. So even Earth Spirit initiating is not that great. In the bottom lane, Abed gets another solo kill against Yopaj. It's becoming a bit too easy now for them to get these kills. And now the Troll, his farm just doesn't really matter. You can't really defend him in these team fights. They can just kind of kite him around if they wanted to, because they really only have to deal with the Troll as Among Us stands.
Abed's not scared of anyone, literally. He can he can astral step in, and then he can silence them twice. That's it. How else do they kill him right now? Troll is in no position to fight him quite yet. Yes, he does have that Manta style, so maybe it's a bit easier for him, but no one else stands a chance. That's why he was so aggressive versus the Rubik there, even though Rubik kind of is a counter, just the instant lift. But no, it doesn't even matter. And
his build helps a lot. I think Abed was very smart on his build, so he went for Ags relatively early with the Yule Scepter. So he has great lane pushing, which means you always have vision, so you can get better team fights and always control the tempo. You have really good AoE damage, of course, is great with the Chrono. And the silence is an awesome counter initiation. So it makes it very difficult for Neon to do anything, because they don't have map control, they don't have tempo control, and they don't really have team fight control either, because Abed and the global silence will constantly stop this. And the BKBs on Neon or some sort of spells are coming way too late. Maybe Yopaj should have opted for an early Yule, but even then it would have been good enough, because you would take too long to actually initiate anyway.
And your Dream as well now having the BKB too, so he's even got a dispel for himself. Makes this just very, very tricky here. What a scam. Is this a BKB for him? Looks like it is. It is. Okay, there we go. So, like you said, it's not going to be that amazing. We also have Jean-Noel now with a Blink Dagger at the very least, so we maybe could see a little bit of this return to try and get in a pick off now. I think March becomes very high priority to start these fights off for all of a sudden. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some aggressive plays there for the position 5.
March is going to TP in time at the top, which is not bad, honestly. The fact that he's pushed this lane alone and they couldn't really touch him kind of speaks to Neon's domination of this match. They kind of have to stay completely alone, and they went to the silencer. They were a bit afraid. We don't have Boots of Travel or anything on Abed, but still, the rotational power is strong here. And your Dream playing aggressively. Now with the Aegis, you can go for the bottom tier 1, which is really only gold. But if they get the tier 2 as well, then you can start actually threatening the enemy triangle. And then I start to question, where is Skem going to fall? Like, what is this battlefield going to be used for this game, honestly?
Yeah, it's looking like they're probably going to go more, especially with this Aegis. I'd like to see them kind of take control of that triangle area, boot the troll. Farming in the upper jungle is not as efficient. It's harder to stack. You know, there's many problems. The Skem's going to try and at least mirror push, but there's going to be absolutely no contest over this tier 2 bottom that they're going to lose.
And this is one of the advantages also getting Trim Protector, right? They've been protecting this tier 1 completely, which makes it, for that Neon, even if they want to go for the triangle, it's still a bit dangerous. They're going for the weakest and less important towers, which is the top towers. Because they haven't taken mid yet, these don't matter as much. And Zephyr makes sure that this mid tower is always protected. Abed is also rotating here very often. Their map control is sublime. I actually love this Trim Protector pick. I didn't really think of this in the beginning, but I don't know if they read this from Among Us, and from Neon. And they knew they were going to go for a draft like this, but this Trim Protector has been absolutely awesome.
Yep, they're going for a bit more than that tier 2 bomb. They're going to knock on the door of the tier 3, get the Fortify out, maybe back off, maybe go mid lane instead, as there will be some lines drawn there on the map by Cuckoo.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is getting difficult. I mean, we do have more magic burst now. Puck level 16 went for the 12% magic amp, especially with the Veil of Discord. Yeah. That's good damage, right? There is no Pipe of Insight. There is, however, Guardian Greaves and a Treant Protector, as there's the jump. They're looking to burst through the Aegis. Okay, good stuff. But they're patient. March not popping the Global Silence there, not because he's AFK. Oh, they break it, though.
Troll's still okay. There's the Chrono. Actually wasting his BKB as well as he went down, but he does mitigate some of the damage though, so I think that was on purpose. Now he gets the Battle Trance off. Again. Yes, and on Injured Dream, but the Overgrowth stops him, and your team needs to move away, and he does.
Oh, stolen!
Well. It's Skem who's in trouble. He's about to lose his ultimate. Skem dead, and without your carry, where's your damage? You can't really fight anymore. Chanel is the next one to fall as Yopaj is being chased to the trees. Abed wants to get that kill. And that's going to be a 4-man wipe, or 3-man wipe here, because Yopaj actually manages to make it away from Abed. Doesn't really matter, though, as Geekfam. They've taken, Geekfam, Among Us has taken 3 heroes down, one of which is the carry, wasting his 10-second BKB as well. It's a massive win, and they still take the tower for them.
Yeah, they do expend their ultis there, but, I mean, they've been holding on to them since that Rosh fight there earlier on, as Yopaj actually still is going to die. Abed is going to sniff him out and find him.
You seem to have trouble grasping cause and effect.
Well, what are you going to do, man? Like, seriously, the puck is completely gone. You don't have the guy who can cut the lanes now, so if he flies back, it's very obvious he's going to go cut the lanes. You can't really do that.
Oh,
and
look
now
at
at least
Abed.
you lose 1 lane of reps. They actually go for play hard as well in your Dream. I think you can kill him. Yeah. You shouldn't be afraid. There's nobody alive. It's only the Bat Rider. He had no lasso anyway, and now this tower is for free as well.
Yeah, this one is looking all about over here at this point. I don't really know feasibly how they get back in. Even that counter initiation, I think, was the best they could have hoped for at this point, and they still couldn't even burst through the Faceless Void. Maybe without a Chronosphere there, they can conceivably not lose as many heroes and actually end up with a kill, but from here, I just don't see Among Us backing down the next time all their ultis are up.
Even, I mean, this time might come. even without like the ultimates, honestly. Do they don't have global silence? They do. They have global silence and they have overgrowth. You have Void without Chrono, but he does have BKB available.
Oh
they even
my
have
god, the
Hex
sheep
now.
stick.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise sheep stick, as there's going to be the coil. We'll try and counter initiate. Global silence, though. Great Sonic Wave in your dream, though. He's going to be popping the Satanic that he's got now, by the way. BKB activated now onto JG. He goes, trying to run his symbol away, cannot do so. They will pick up the kill on a Cuckoo at the very least, as Skem chasing them outside of the base, looking for a root, March, though, is going to be left behind. All right, a good hold. So that's kind of what I was. Maybe we do need a few more ultis. Unwilling maybe to commit the overgrowth there. Maybe out of position, but
that was their mistake, though. They used the global silence a bit too late, and the lasso had gone off. The lasso should never go off before the global silence. I mean, you are also initiate. In your dream, literally jumped in with BKB ready, and he held onto the global just a second too late. I think they wanted to overcommit because, of course, the global. If you just use it and you have nothing to like force them to stay, then they just walk away, right? But you had overgrowth ready. So how they, especially a Train Protector with Blink, so how they proposed that was not the cleanest team fight. However, you're winning by a lot, so who cares? It is that point where you don't have to be as clean or as precise when you're winning by 4.
Yeah, I mean, at what point would you say this troll becomes a little bit too scary then? Maybe with the full Abyssal Blade, you have to go, okay, we can't do that anymore? Or do you need Abyssal and a Satanic? I mean...
I don't think it's Troll, to be honest. I think they have a lot of ways to deal with Troll if you're Among Us. I think if Troll is the only important character, the only important hero of this game, because they'll be able to deal with him, no problem. The thing is I'm concentrating more on Yopaj, I'm concentrating more on JG, honestly, which should be creating much more space in these team fights, but they're unable to, partially because they're so poor. Yopaj is okay, but he's only gone for damage, which is not helping him in
Nice
this
job.
game.
He's breaking smokes in the pit. He will be scouted here eventually. Global Silence popped a bit early.
No, that's for the
That's a
Rubik, though.
stolen global. I can't believe he stole Global Silence. Excuse me? March.
That's very difficult. I actually have
March.
a question.
How do you let that happen?
I think they stunned March because they killed him last time.
That's pretty sus.
Anyway. Yeah, that was a bit weird. But it was the master plan, right? Because, see, they were going to go there for the Void Spirit, but now they wasted the Global Silence, and they revealed their position. It was obvious they were all there. So it's March's thinking in 4D chess. You don't understand because
He really is. He goes, okay, Abed, go ahead and bait out the Global, and then I'm going to have Global, and then we'll run in and end the game.
Yeah,
then,
exactly. This is the next level. This is what you're looking for, right? These are the kind of plays that win you tournaments, and not those garbage, trash, safe plays, right? You gotta take risks like these.
Of course.
Letting them steal your global is the right play. And your dream is gonna go for a butterfly next, which is gonna amp his damage, but also make him incredibly hard to kill by the troll, who kind of needs Abyssal before MKB.
I think that was quite a fast Rosh on there, respawning. It's gonna be scouted by Among Us, and this is, I mean, what kind of team fight do we even need here? Step 1 is kill March. Step 2 is zone out Zephyr, and then maybe you have a chance?
Yeah, to kill March, zone out Zephyr. Hope there's no Corona that hits you all.
Yeah.
And stop wacky Abed from doing his little thing, you know, where he goes in and out of team fight, silencing everyone and making sure you have a really tough time. That's why I love the Abed build. The Ags makes it so it's so difficult to try to play this coordinated team fight. Because Neon is all about picking out single targets and then killing them early, which is actually kind of decent against team fight lineups if you can position yourself well, if you have the extra warding. But with Abed here, always stopping you from going in for the regular pulls, it becomes
we will have another global, though. He's going to have, I think, about 30 seconds where he can fight with global. That is play hard on the side of Neon. So they're going to smoke up and just try and take this. And I think this is an excellent idea, actually, because if you can global first, you know, it's like who shoots first? You know, was it Han Solo? Was it Greedo? If you shoot first, you're going to win.
I'm a Dota nerd, man. I can't be a sci-fi nerd. You understand? Like my social standing is already low as is. I can't lower it any further. I'm sorry. There's a smoke here coming from Neon, trying to make things happen, but the positioning by Zephyr is great.
Yeah.
If he dies, yeah, it's okay. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah, he's got a blink, and that's going to be global now, expiring here within a few seconds. He's not going to use it, though, in case he can somehow steal it again. I don't know if March is going to let that happen now that the master plan has been executed. But instead, the rest of Among Us, they're going to push top. Maybe they know, maybe they don't know, but Global Silence has now been expired. It's timed out here on our Rubik, as he only has a level 2 spell steal. Would have had another minute of this with the level 3.
Yeah, sucks, but that you think you're not going to steal that again. Unless March lets you have it, right? If you're stealing it, it's because March is letting you.
I mean, pretty much. That's what I was so surprised, to be honest. In your dream, he's just going in. They're going to get some burst damage on him because he time walked, so that's what that was about.
Such a late time walk. And he's angry. He activates Satanic. It's done.
Done. I didn't even kill a creep. I just hit it like 2 times, and I'm good to go.
With the butterfly, I think even he becomes hard to kill. I think the puck damage is kind of needed at this point, but with BKB, I don't know how you're going to bring him down.
Yeah, he is pretty unstoppable at this point.
They don't care, man. They really don't care. They have way too much counter initiation. March has a Aghanim's, by the way, so you have a second pseudo global.
Oh,
there's the bat. Stopped by Abed is what I was talking about. It's impossible to initiate, seriously.
Yeah.
Bat was lurking. He's like, maybe get. Oh, no, Abed. And I stop the trolls well, but there's no counter initiation.
There's the global.
Okay, finally here. Dream Call, global silence to stop this Dream Call. Not bad. In your dream, though. Still has that BKB, and you don't have Ags on the pucks. That Dream Call is not.
Speaking of Puck actually copy on enemy lines there. Yule Scepter is going to set up actually not for an Aether Remnant, so they need a little bit more lockdown, which is going to be hard to find there onto Yopash. He's able to escape with his life, but in your dream, back to pushing buildings. This is what he was made to do.
He has Chrono still, by the way, holding on to maybe until his second life, or until he's a really good Chrono here.
We've only used 1 ulti, actually, on the side of Among Us. Granted, it was the global. It was the global, so it's a big one. But I gotta commend John all. He knew he needed to make something happen as Scam actually in some trouble here. Has the BKB, has the ulti bit hexed up. He's not able to use either of them. Sonic Wave, unnecessary, but it sends the message, and that message is to call it. Among Us, they're gonna take game number 1 here. The opening in BTS Summer 13.
Yeah, that was. I think the game ended at the draft, to be honest. It was not. I wouldn't say outdrafted because that would imply that Neon's proposition was wrong, right? And it wasn't. I think Neon had a pretty decent idea of how to take away the pickoffs, but the real problem was more along the lines of Among Us went for a really easy draft to play, and Neon went for a really hard lineup to play, really hard. You have to get lane domination from the start. And this final pick of the puck, I like my suggestion better, if I'm honest with you, of Batrider made puck 5 than the puck made Batrider 5. I didn't like that at all. Puck didn't do much as a mid laner. Batrider would have crushed the Void Spirit. It would have stopped him from having so much impact. And Abed carried the early game entirely for Among Us. It was so difficult for Neon to play. We just didn't see them have a game this time.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. It felt like Abed, besides the first maybe 10 minutes of the game, never was really in danger of dying. Same thing within your dream, 8-0 and 8 on him. And unfortunately, Neon, they can't put it together there.
Yep. That's going to be game 1. Of course, the best of 2 series, so at least they get a chance to redeem themselves and tie the series. Well, let's see if next series is a bit better. I'm hoping for a more standard draft by Neon, because the way they drafted this time was very unlike them. Not the picks themselves, but the order of the picks themselves was quite odd. They didn't bait out the carry that happens to be support. They didn't play with any other weird surprise picks. They actually picked their carry quite late in the draft, which allowed him to be countered. It was not the Neon match I was expecting.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. But we're going to be going to a short break to get things ready for game number 2 here. Best of 2 series between Among Us and Among Us version 2 and Neon Esports, as we'll see what'll happen in just a bit. We'll be back. See you then.